Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with me. My name is Cotton Candy Doll. If you're new here, then welcome. Welcome all. This is a shifting video. I'm not really sure if you're going to hear any noises in the background. You might hear something because, sometimes there is noise. But anyone who wanted to contact me, I told them to alert me by phone, which I need to make sure that I have, which I can't find. I'm going to pause one moment. And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I am waiting up once again for another call, another text, anything, but put my phone on silent. That way it's not interrupting. I'll just be glancing over once in a while to make sure no one's calling me. So I didn't manage to put on any makeup this time, but I did manage to get some lip gloss. Make my lips kind of shine. I don't have on any like makeup though. I think this is the most makeup you guys are going to get out of me for a while. I've just been so tired. I haven't had a chance to really like beautify myself at all, so the most I can do is like this hat. It just makes me look beautiful wearing this hat. Wonderful. So we have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to share with you guys. So first off, in the front picture, I hope I'm not giving anything away. I don't think I am, but you can see Frodo there. I did finally post this picture up there. This is the closest thing I could find to what he actually looks like. It looks very similar to him. His eyes are a little bit bigger. He doesn't really have red. His lips are not really red. They're more like a dull pinkish color, but I couldn't get it to do what I wanted as far as like. But anyway, you get the idea. That's basically how he looks. And so Frodo does have a part in this, so does Boo. If you guys saw the picture. And I think one of the things that makes Boo so unique is that you guys know how dangerous Boo really is. Like, he can tear time, but he's also like very scary, okay? I would never go to the Dragon Ball Z world if he was there because for some reason in this realm he's not as harmless, and I think that's the reason why Boo's the way he is. That's why he has this kind of personality that he has now, so that he can be harmless. Otherwise, we would be dealing with someone incredibly dangerous and incredibly strong. Madara wouldn't even have a chance with him, but Madara still doesn't. If Boo was the way he was in Dragon Ball Z, if he transferred that personality into this reality, we would have a problem. Especially with the way he was trying to pursue me. But I'm glad that we're basically cousins, so that just makes everything like 10 times better. But I have to tell you guys about what happened. I know some of you guys have been reaching out to me on Discord. Some of you guys have, which it's kind of still is Zombieland. I do try to say welcome if you come in there. You're free to post whatever you like there. I don't really like to post my events, but I would like to come on the videos and tell you guys what happened instead of sharing. Now, I couldn't resist if someone would ask me on there, like what happened, when I probably would end up telling, but I would end up still doing a video trying to explain everything to you guys because, like you guys know, so Madara is basically blackmailing. You guys have watched the other videos, so you already know what happened, but so I decided when I shifted back there, I'm going to give him the treatment. I have to give him, since he's like one of my men, right? He's like one of my men now. So it's only fair that I induct him, right? It's only fair that I do the things to him that I, did to Toshinori and, Keigo when I was with both of them. It's only fair that I share all of my life with him instead of some of it, right? So I just thought back to Toshinori when I first met him and all the things we went through together. And I'm just like, wow, we terrorized each other. So, now it's time for me to like kind of terrorize Madara. He needs to experience, the full the full cotton candy doll mode. So I decided, who better to involve in that than Boo? If anything, even if I involve him in it, there's so much confusion going on with Boo. It's not really confused, it's just the naivety and just, I mean, I hate to use him that way, but it's not really using if you're asking him to help you and he does something wrong. I mean, and Madara doesn't get mad at him because he just knows like this is Boo, this is him. Like, you really can't get mad for anything he does, So it's kind of like that. So my first step was, I knew that Toshinori had basically, I think it may have even have been Toshinori's idea for him to like play this game with me where he tied me up and basically smashed me until the end. I think that that was Toshinori's idea. And so I think Toshinori was just kind of going along with it because he wanted to, I believe he was doing that because he wanted to let him know it was okay that he was with me and that he wasn't mad and that he was willing to share some crap. But that wasn't what we agreed. Toshinori, like, what the heck are you doing? Like, you and I never spoke about this, and I know that I didn't tell you because of who knew that blackmail could go so far. So you know what? I just said, you know what? Screw you, Toshinori. I'm gonna get you back for this. I'm gonna get you back bad. Not just you, but I'm gonna get it Madara, and I'm gonna involve Boo in it. That way, if you guys try and do anything, Boo will step in. And don't get me wrong, Boo will protect me, regardless of his brains, of what's going on in his head. He will protect me. It's just instinctual. And we even had a meeting last night. We talked. We really, really talked. And Boo has a lot of concerns, and he's just worried for my safety with Madara because he sees it, and he says he's very controlling. He control you. Yeah, obviously, that's the idea, Boo. Of course, but you know, and the thing is, it's not like, okay. So last night when I shifted, right? Because all this stuff I'm gonna tell you happened before. I'm just telling you about this right now and about what happened last night. I was tired. I was laying down, trying to go to sleep. I was actually trying to sleep, and I'm like, why can't I sleep? Then I'm like, who's pulling me? Boo was pulling me. And I'm like, Boo, what's up? I'm like, I'm actually trying to sleep right now. It would be nice to get some sleep. He said, that's nice, but can you wake up? Can you like wake up now? Like, can you wake up now? Really? Like, okay. He talked to me, and it was like a really, really long talk. And he was just telling me like his concerns with Midnight and all this. And he's like, you know, I wonder if she really cares for me. I wonder if she really loves me, all this stuff, because I love her too. And she don't come around me. I'm like, so I need to get to the bottom of that first off. But that's something for later, for when I shift back there. And Boo asked me last night, he's like, is it really okay what we do? I said, what we do is fine. So I'm going to tell you guys what happened. And you tell me, because this is me, the old me awakening. And I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to be like a more mature and like, you know, I'm trying to be like an actual lady, but it's kind of impossible when you're being treated like a dirtbag. So I shifted back to Toshinori's house. I did shift back to My Hero Academia, and I did it really late. Actually, I made sure that Madara could not detect me. I've been basically grounding myself here so nobody can pull me. That doesn't work with Boo. Boo is still able to pull me. That's how powerful he is. Even though they know Boo doesn't want anything, so it's irritating because it's like he expects me to come to his beck and call, and he doesn't want nothing, yo. And I just want to go to sleep. So I shifted back to Toshinori house, and I made sure it was late because I wanted him to be asleep. Not only did I want Toshinori to be asleep, but I wanted to make sure he wouldn't wake up while I was doing what I was doing. So, as you guys know, Toshinori likes his stuff neat. He likes his things put away. And I decided, you know, I'm going to play this little game with him. I'm going to come and I'm going to just wreck his stuff. I'm going to come in. I'm going to sabotage all of his stuff. Like, he had all of his socks in order. I put everything out of order. I switched them up in the drawers and mixed them around. And then while he was sleeping, I decided to inject him. He opened his eyes, but it was like too late. By the time he opened his eyes, I already pushed the vial already all the way in his neck. And so like he fell back to sleep. And this is just to ensure he doesn't wake up while I'm doing what I got to do. So then I say, okay, Boo, you can come in. I didn't want Boo to do anything with him because last time Boo did something to him, his brain was like messed up. It took forever. And actually Madara was the one who put his brain back into place and then told him what he was going to do with me and him and everybody else if I didn't let him like be with me or something. So I don't know what his words was. I don't know what he said to Toshinori because I didn't ever ask because I don't give a damn Toshinori. Toshinori pissed me off for the uptee time. And actually I was so pissed off I even thought of walking out on him. Then I thought, you know, we fought so hard for our relationship. We've been through so much. The way we poisoned each other, the way we used to torture each other, practically almost rape each other, you know, and it's like I'm not going to give that up because we went through so much to be together. I know how bad that sounded. That sounded terrible. we definitely were toxic at the beginning, like a lot more toxic than we are now. We sort of gave up the nonsense, but I feel like it's time to put it back because I haven't done it in a while, and I really want to see Toshinori tremble in fear. I want to see his look in his eyes, and he looks at me fearfully, not knowing what I'm gonna do to him, or knowing what I'm gonna do to him, and can't do anything about it. Anyway, so I put him to sleep, but then I said, "Boo, we need to tie him up." So Boo said, "Okay, what kind of tie?" I said, "I don't know, just something creative." I came back and Boo had made this freaking web. Okay, it was basically like rope here, rope here, rope here, rope here. He had his arms and legs, and he was like this, but sleep, knocked out. Like, so I came over and I lifted his head, and I did like I kind of smacked his face around a little bit in my hands, and then I kissed him, and I'm like, okay, so let's go in his drawer. I said he has a gun in here, and Boo is like, Boo, Boo is like, Boo no guns, Boo knows gun is bad. I said, no, Boo, this is a good gun. What this gun does, you know what it does? He goes, what it do? I said, this is a happy gun. It makes you happy. So whoever you shoot with this is going to make them happy. No, this gun is going to make whoever gets shot with it fall asleep. I said, so you in charge of gun. So I'm like, okay. So he said, what we do with gun? I said, we shoot Madara to make him happy. He said, Madara sad? I said, yes, he's very sad. So then he's like, okay. I said, but you can't carry the gun, Boo. You have to hide it. And here's the thing, Boo has the ability to make things appear and disappear. So he could hide that. He could have it with him and nobody will know. So it's basically like walking around with an armed weapon, but nobody can see it because it's invisible and it still does what it's supposed to do. But in my case, it makes people happy. Actually, we're just gonna trank Madara because that's my idea. So then he go, what next? I said, well, next we need to go to Madara's house because Madara has a house now in My Hero. He decided he's so comfortable and he wants to see me when he gets there. He prepared like a nice place with us in a room. You know, he said, well, I'm there, I get to share the room with him and share his bed and all of his stuff, since we're lovers now. Since we're not friends anymore. If we can't be lovers, we can't be friends. Apparently he told me that. And he said it in such a like, if we can't be lovers, we can't be. He said it in such a feminine way, and I just looked at him. I'm like, is this the same Madara, or is he cloning himself? And different parts of his personality are coming out. I can't tell. I have no problem with it. I don't. You are who you are. So I'm like, he's like, so the next time we meet, we're gonna have a little play date. I thought it would be a great idea for you, me, and Toshinori to go on like a double date or whatever, but you being the sandwich. You guys know what that means, don't you? You guys know what that means. Come on, stop it. Stop doing that. This is an adult channel. You guys have an adult mind. So he has his own little fantasy or whatever. I don't know if his fantasy involves him being with Toshinori in that moment and me, but I'm gonna make that fantasy come true. Not in the way he wants. So I'm like, first we need to go to his house. And Boo said, I know Madara house. He said, take my hand. So I took his hand. We were at Madara house. So I said, Boo, go hide. I said, you know what? Matter of fact, because we didn't even reach his house all the way yet, I said, Boo, why don't you come back later? I'm going to set up some things first so that way he'll be happy when you get ready to come and do what you have to do. He said, okay. I go, Boo, go. Boo, come back later. I said, okay, come back later, Boo. I'm waiting on you. I'm counting on you. Just be here, okay? Be here like when you call me. He said, okay. Boo disappears. I guess Madara could sense that I was already out there, so he comes outside. He's like, I can't get it out. Why are you just standing out there? I'm just waiting for you inside. He's like, come on. And he takes my hand, he pulls me in, and he's like, I've been waiting for you this whole time. I prepared this nice dinner for you. I'm like, oh, okay. So I go and I sit down at the table. He has like steak. Like, it's smelling good too. Like, it's smelling really good. I'm like, oh, so you finally made something. He's like, yeah, it's really good. I thought it would, I thought this would be a great time to propose to you because I feel like I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I can't imagine life without you. I just can't imagine you not being in my life. And there's just so many more things I want to know about you. And I learned what I could in your world. I learned everything I could about you there. Now I want to know everything about you here. I want to know what you like, what you don't like. So he's talking about all this stuff, but I'm really just thinking like, Okay, so the first part of this plan has already started working. The second part of this plan is to terrorize him in a way that he'll just hate me. And now, since he's trying to propose to me, I'm going to tell him no and get him upset because when I say no, he's going to get mad, right? So Myra is like, Cotton Canada. I'm like, what? He's like, do you want to eat your, he's like, don't you want to eat your mashed potatoes? I'm like, no, I don't want to. I'm not really that hungry. He said, I think you should take a bite out of them. I'm like, you know what, Myra? You're always trying to tell me what to do. He said, just take a bite out of it. I said, I don't want to. I don't want to eat them. What did you put in them? Some kind of poison? He goes, it's not poison. Oh my God, it's not poison. I go, then you eat it then. You prove to me that it's not poison, Madara. Prove to me that it's not poison. Madara takes a bite. He takes another bite. And then another bite. And he's like, you made me eat all your mashed potatoes. I go, were they good? He goes, you didn't want to try even a little bit of them? Come on, I worked hard to make this meal for you. I'm like, okay, Madara, I guess I'll take a tiny little bite. So I take my fork, I take the littlest, like little bit, like this much, and I do like that, and I'm like, it's delicious. He goes, I told you. He's like, I got more on the stove, you want? I said, sure. Of course I would want. Of course I would like some mashed potatoes, Madara. So then Madara, he reached into the pot with the ladle. He put a bunch of it on my plate where he ate it. He's like, I just couldn't stop eating it. It was so good. He goes, something's weird about that. That's so weird. Why did I keep eating it when I know? I'm like, I don't know, Madara. You tell me why you do the things you do. I mean, hey, here you are keeping me hostage. He said, you are not a prisoner. You can leave whenever you want. Really, Madara? I said, what happens if I leave you? He goes, you know what's going to happen. So then I'm your prisoner then, right? So he's walking over to me. He's holding the pot in his hand. And he's like, you know what? And then he takes one more step and he goes, what is happening to me? His eyes widened and he looked at me. He started backing up. He's like, he does this yell with his chest. Oh no, I don't know what's going to happen. And then, boom, he falls over. So then I'm like, because what I did was I made sure that I put sleeping pills in my mashed potatoes. And then tell him I didn't want to eat them because it's poison. And made him eat them. How clever am I? Haven't I become more clever? Guys, I am brilliant, right? Brilliant. You get a whip coming out. So then, yes, Toshinori, I know. Look at him hiding behind a box. Look. So anyway, yeah, like some kind of weirdo. He was all the way out and now he's like halfway behind it. Are you embarrassed because I'm telling them what happened? Anyway. So he falls over, right? So then I'm like, okay. So I'm dragging him now to his bedroom. And I put him on the bed. And I'm like, let's see. What can I use to tie him with? Oh, I know. I'm going to go in his closet. So I went in his closet. He had everything all nice and neat and set up in there, right? I just pulled everything down. I basically ransacked his room like I did Toshinori's. And then afterwards, he was still like... he was like still like he started waking up, but he was like falling in and out of consciousness. So I thought it would be a good idea to completely strip him like naked and then leave him tied to his bed so that he would wake up in only like a pair of socks. And then I went and I looked in the kitchen, and on the floor I noticed there was like a plaque or something down there. And I picked it up and it said like greatest hero of all time. And I'm like, what the I look at it and I'm like, I'm staring at it because I'm just like, what is this doing here? You guys remember? Okay, remember when I first shifted to My Hero? Remember when he said, do you really did you really earn that medal? Remember when Toshinori was trying to like confront me about that secretly? And I'm like, okay, you remember that? Well, he said greatest hero of all time, which means he must have like fabricated that, right? So I said, I'm gonna put on the greatest hero of all time, but I'm going to put it directly over his groin so that so his rocket is up against it. So that way that's the greatest hero of all time, like, basically. And I was like, you know what? I can. And then I decided to go get a mirror, put the mirror in front of him so he could, like, see himself and everything. So, and then I was like, okay, so that's enough damage for today. I guess I'll leave. Boo won't be back until, because Boo's not coming back until later. Like, I basically, like, hinted to him, you're not going to come back. You're going to come back the next day, okay? Because I don't want I don't want him to smack dab into Madara and basically ruin what's happening. So that was the first night. And then so I went back. I shifted back here. I was so happy and proud of myself. I like patted myself in the back, like I'm such a good girl. I did so many good things while I was there. Toshinori's gonna be so pissed. He's gonna be so pissed. I wonder what they're gonna do. They will. Here's the thing. It was my day to go see Frodo when I went back, and I know nobody messes with me on Frodo Day. Okay, Frodo's Day is Frodo's Day. Period. That baby will throw a fit. So I decided to go see Frodo. So as soon as I got to his house, I walk in and Madara's in there. He's like, yeah, so I had to take Frodo home. I picked him up from school. I was like, why'd you pick him up? He was like, because he needed to be picked up from school. And he was just acting all like irate the whole, like he walked past me, he kind of like bumped my shoulder. And I heard him say under his breath, like, getting his little bitch or something. And I'm like, what? Getting his what? He's like, nothing, babe. I'm like, okay. So I did like this because I know he's planning something too, but I'm already 2 steps ahead because remember I have Boo coming to make him happy. Boo is gonna make him so happy. So then I'm like, hi Frodo. Frodo, So I go up and I hug him and stuff. I'm like, hey, and I pick him up and everything. And I'm like, you know what Frodo wants? You know what Frodo wants? Frodo wants to hang out with new daddy. Frodo wants to hang out with second daddy, doesn't he? And the people at okay, so the people sitting in Toshinori's house, right? Because even though Frodo got picked up from school, you know why Frodo got picked up from school. Frodo was a freaking terrorizer. He's a demon. So basically, he's not a real demon, but I mean, he's just that bad, okay? So when he got dropped off, when Madara picked him up, his teachers had already come to the house. And they were talking to Kago already. So the people there are just kind of gassed, like, second daddy. And Madara's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I think it's time for Frodo and Daddy to spend some time together, right? Frodo and Daddy? And like, Frodo knew Daddy? And Frodo is like looking at me like, what? No. What are you talking about? I'm like, here, go to your new daddy. So I'm like, well, you know, I thought it would be a good idea for you to watch Frodo today. He goes, really? He's like, well, fine, I can do it. I can handle Frodo. You know, it's not that big a deal. I said, yeah. I'll come by and I'll visit you later to see how you're doing. So I gave him Frodo and I went back and I talked to Kago. And I'm like, Kago, do you know anything? He's like, know anything about what? I'm like, nothing. So the people leave. Me and Kago are talking. He's just talking about how he's having trouble with Frodo. He can't get Frodo to listen. He's like, come around sometimes. I'd like to see you for dinner. Because you guys know I broke it off with Kago. We're no longer like that no more. It was just like I committed myself with Toshinori completely. And because we was just arguing all the time. We got a kid now. So now we actually have something we have in common, which is something we love together. And so, Kago goes out on the days that I'm with Frodo. Kago goes out and he's like out like being a hero, or he just goes out with Never. If neither of them have Frodo and I have him, they're doing something together. So anyway, me and him are talking. He's like, he having trouble. He goes, what's this new daddy thing? I'm like, oh, Madara wants to get to know him better. So I thought it would be a good idea. So then I'm like, he's like, I wonder how long he's going to have him for before he calls you. I'm like, I don't know. At some point he'll be calling me because Frodo doesn't last that long with other people. They're calling us back in a second. He lasts Frodo has been doing a lot better. Like he can survive half a day in school. He can't survive an entire day in school. We have to get him. Because he's going to start having a bad day. It's a problem. He disrupts the teachers. He disrupts the students. He's screaming, kicking, throwing things, trying to bite people. Yes, I'm trying to bite. Even though he knows he's not supposed to do that. And Keiko won't spank him. So Endeavor does, but that's only if Endeavor picks him up. Which they can't reach him most of the time because for some reason he's like number 1 now. He's like number 1. So they're constantly going at it. So they don't even really call Toshinori. Toshinori's in his classroom teaching. They don't call him. So, he volunteered to be father. And Kago, Kego's not gonna do nothing. So most of the time they try not to call Kego because all he's gonna do is pick him up and nothing. So so I'm like, okay, well, what can we do while we're waiting for him to call? He goes, I don't know. Kego's like, let's go get some ice cream or something. Let's just talk a little bit. So he's like, well, how's Boo doing? Have you seen him? Because I haven't seen him. I'm like, oh, I see Boo all the time now. He's like, really? He's like, you see him a lot. I'm like, yeah, I see him a lot. He goes, wow. He goes, that guy stopped coming to see me. What happened? I said, him and Midnight, they got like a real relationship now. So he said he concerned. So I will give you my advice. And Kego is like, I don't do dope. I'm not doing that advice no more. I said, okay, well then you asked me and I told you. So you only can do what I tell you. Next thing you know, the phone ringing. So Kego is like, okay. He hangs up. He's like, yeah, you got to go get Frodo. I'm like, all right, I'll go get him. I went open the door. Madara had Frodo in his arms, and he handed him to me. He's like, I had a great time with Frodo. I'm like, you had a great time with him? He like, yeah. I'm like, let's go back to your house. He's like, why? Aren't you gonna go spend some time with me now? Or I said, no, today is Frodo Day. I spent the whole day with Frodo. He's like, oh, the whole day with Frodo. I see. And he looked really disappointed. So he was kind of like this. He was like this. He was just, and I know it's mad because he's mad from last time because of what I did to him. He didn't like being stripped naked. He didn't like being unconscious. But I mean, Nori Toshinori, but that stuff I used to do to him that I stopped. I know Toshinori is gonna get me back. He hasn't tried to get me back, but I know he's gonna get me back for that. But I'm not gonna worry about Toshinori because I can handle this shit. Can I handle him? I think I can, right? Anyway, so we're going back to his house. I have Frodo. I'm like, we're gonna spend our day at your house. He goes, we can't. You can't go to my house. I said, why? What's wrong with your house? And then I see a fire truck speeding past. I'm like, so did Frodo do to your house? He's like, something got. He goes, something burned a little bit, but it's okay. That's my fault. I'm like, it's your fault? He goes, yeah. Frodo's okay, though? So I took Frodo again. I'm like, okay. He was like, yeah. I think I'm going to stay with Toshinori tonight. I feel like, that's a good idea. I'm like, okay. I'm like, if that's what you want to do. I said, okay, well, I'll just take Frodo back home then. We'll just stay here, right? And Keiko's like, yeah, I just got us ice cream. Come on. He made 3 bowls, one for me, Frodo, and him. So we were sitting there on the couch talking and eating ice cream. It was just the best. Like, it's like Keiko has become the new big brother or best friend person. But we can never really do that since we were in a relationship. So I just really just call him a really close ally that I can depend on. I try not to friend zone him. I try to put him as ally because you never know. Sometimes we have our moments where we're like, nothing happens though. Nothing ever happens. We just like dig each other. We're just like, yeah, kind of like that. Like, like, yeah, you look good. You look good. Kind of like that. So we're sitting there eating our ice cream and everything. And then I'm like, well, I got to get ready to go. And he's like, okay. And then, so I got ready to leave. And I'm like, I'm going to shift back. And then Toshinori appeared at the door. And I'm like, hi. And he's like, hi. So I'm standing in Keiko's kitchen. And Toshinori is like, Cotton Candy down. I missed you. I'm like, yeah, I missed you too. He's like, come here. I'm like, Toshinori, what's wrong with you? He's like, nothing. Just come here for a second. I just want to hug you. I want to see you. I'm like, why? And I'm like backing away. I don't know what it was something. I just knew like, I'm like, okay, just back away from him. And I'm like, Toshinori, I said, I'm going to come see you tomorrow. He's like, you're going to come see me tomorrow. Are you sure you're coming? I'm like, yeah, why would I not come see you? I've been waiting to see you. I love seeing you. And he was just like, He was looking at me. Then he looked at Keigo. Then he looked at Frodo. And Frodo started laughing. And I'm like, Keigo, I'll be back. I was like, I'll be back like a couple days from now. It's time for me to go back. And Toshinori's like, no, don't go back yet. Come closer. And he has this dark look on his face. Like, I'm like, oh, he's trying to get back at me. But I'm not going to let him. So I'm like, nope, I got to go. I'm shifting. He goes, wait. He starts walking toward me. And I quickly did my safe word to come back, okay, and I came back here. And the good thing about Toshinori is he can't pull me, all right? And of course I lied. I wasn't coming back to see him. Why would I come back and see you so that you could try and punish me or torture me for what I did to you? I know how it works. I'm just gonna wait a minute. I'll pop up at the school like I normally do. And when I show up there, everybody will be like, oh hey. And I'm like, oh hey. And I can literally like kiss you or whatever. And it's nothing. Like you won't do anything to me if I'm in the school. That's how I get out of it. Until we meet up again. But by then, he's not gonna forget about it. But like it's not gonna be as severe, whatever he's trying to plan to do. But I knew better than to freaking stay in Keiko's house and just let him like drag me out of there. Heck no. That's like not smart. So yeah, he didn't like being he doesn't he has to know I didn't tie him up though. How would I have managed to do that? I would have had the most trouble trying to tie him up in a freaking web with both his hands and his of course. So then I was just like, okay. So I knew when I went back, I was going to go see Madara because that's our deal. I have to see Madara practically every day, but I only get to see my real man for like 3 or 4 times a week. How does that make sense? How is that fair? But I didn't want to see Toshinori anyway because I didn't want him to do whatever he was planning to do, which I still think he's planning. Like, I'm supposed to go tonight, but I might skip a day again. I might. I have a feeling Boo might pull me though, but I do not want to be pulled again because Boo doesn't want nothing. Like, he's gonna be talking the whole time. And I like hearing about his life and stuff, but some stuff is just TMI. You're supposed to be my cousin, bro. But I guess he feels comfortable that he can talk to me. So anyway, I shifted back to see Madara. And of course I knew Madara was gonna be like upset. So I walked over, I'm like, Madara, his house was like completely rebuilt or whatever from whatever happened to it. I walked in and I could literally see like, you know how your house has been on like fire? You can see like the blackness from it or the ash from it like on the wall. I could literally see that and I'm like the whole top of the roof. I'm like, what the hell? And all I remember is, so remember when Frodo burnt down my house? Like my house was burnt to the ground, okay? His house wasn't burnt to the ground. It just looked like the roof was missing or something. But then I looked around the sides of the wall and I looked at the floor and I'm like, oh, like I wonder if this was put together with illusion magic. That's illusion magic. That's what I'm thinking. So then Madara walks up, he opens the door, and I'm just standing there. He's like, you came back to see me. I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh, come inside. I'm like, okay. So I walk in, I'm like, wow, you really, redid the place or whatever. He's like, yeah. So we sat at the table. He's like, I'm going to pour you something to drink, some tea or whatever. It's not poison, just drink it. I swear I haven't poisoned any of your stuff. I'm like, okay. So I sit down, I'm sipping on the tea. And he's just standing there like on the other side. He didn't sit down. He was just standing like staring at me from like across the other side of the table. And he's like, Cotton Candy Dot, you really think I would let you get away with what you did? I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do nothing. He's like, yes, you did. You did. I'm like, no, I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, who could have done something to me? I was like, I don't know. Your secret fantasy. Like, I'm being funny because I'm like, I know that you like Toshinori in some weird way. I'm like, your secret fantasy. It's probably my fantasy too. He's like, what? He's like, come on now. Don't do that. So he's talking to me like, Madara is talking to me as if like he's not himself or something. Like, I think his personality is like split or something. It's weird. So he's like, I was getting ready to propose to you last week, but you basically, I guess you think that I'm a joke. It's since you think that I'm a joke, then I have no choice but to show you who I really am and what I'm capable of doing. He's like, Toshinori, who you love so much, imagine him just being gone out of your life. Imagine Frodo being gone out of your life. Imagine Keigo being gone out of your life. Imagine the whole school, everybody, all the kids being gone out of your life. Imagine if it was just you and me in this universe and we're the only things here. Because you're the only thing that matters to me and I'm all that you have. Because you have nothing, okay? You have nothing. And so I'm drinking the tea, and I kind of like I got up and I just stepped back a little bit, and I'm like, look, I already know the tea's poison. I'm not an idiot. Okay? I know you put something in my tea, whatever. Not making a big deal out of it. So he's like, um, so what I decided I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you better than I could tell you. I'm gonna create an entire matter of fact, I'll just show you. So I'm like, wait, Madara. He walks up, he touches my arm like this, and we're in this like a void. I'm like, what is this? He goes, this is the world with nothing. Oh, I can make whatever appear that I want. And he did like this. Table and chair appeared, couch appeared, bed appeared. And he's like, I think I like the bed the best. Why don't you sit on the bed? So I sat down on the bed. I just listened. I'm just like, pretend to like, and the thing is like, my heart was racing, but I knew Boo was going to pull through for me because Boo eventually, this is around the time Boo is supposed to be coming back. So I'm expecting him to be back any second. Now look, 35 minutes went by. I think we're making good timing, guys. So Boo is supposed to be coming back. So he's like, lay down. So I just laid down. I'm obedient. I'm like, oh, God. I said, what's he gonna do to me? Is he gonna try to do me like him? Is he gonna rip off my clothes and stuff like that? Or so then he was just like, that little stunt you pulled, you think you're gonna get away with that? Because I've been waiting for a chance to get you back for that, for what you were gonna do to me. And you know what? You can't sit here and think for one moment that I'm not gonna pay you back for that. I'm gonna pay you back in every way, just like how you did me. I'm gonna do everything you've done to me, but it's gonna be 10 times worse. You know that? Do you know that if you? I'm like, I know that if I'm what? He was just like this, like, oh. He said like, oh. He made like a oh noise, and I'm like, what? And he just fell on top of me, and I'm like, what the heck? And I look over him like this, and Boo is like this with the gun, and he goes, yay, we did it. He's happy. He said, Madara happy? I said, he's very happy, Boo. He's very happy. He's like, yay. And he's like this. I'm like, he go, why he sleep? I said, he just got tired from being so happy, Boo. He was like, oh, what Boo do with gun? I said, hold on to the gun. I said, why don't you go put it away and come back? That's prepared dinner for Madara, so you can have dinner with us. So Boo went and put the gun away. So in his house, we just basically made dinner, and Boo was like, I do it. Boo did this. Boo, every time he does this, something pops up or whatever. And he goes, now wake up Madara. So we sat Madara in the chair. We both kind of sat him up, kind of put his head back like this or whatever. I put his hands like this in front of him on the table, and I put a plate in front of him with like grapes. It had something special too. It had grapes. It had the chicken legs there. It had like fruit, vegetables, everything on his plate, right? Cheese and stuff on the corner. And so I'm like, Boo, we need to wait for him to wake up, because the thing is, I wasn't sure how exactly to wake him up. But Boo goes, I got it, and did something. And when he did something like a or something, Mata was like, ah. He was like, what's going on? What happened? Mm-hmm. He started like, he did like this, and he's like, and then Boo looks at him and goes, we make you dinner. He's like, you made me dinner? He goes, what? Cotton Candy, that what happened? He's like, what happened? I'm like, nothing happened, my girl. Eat your dinner. Eat your grapes. Starts eating his grapes. I'm like, eat your applesauce. He takes a bite. Well, the whole time he's looking at me like this, all suspicious. And then I go, you know what, Boo? I think our dinner was great, wasn't it? He goes, Boo, dinner very good. And then, so Madara's sitting there, but his face is kind of changing bluish a little bit. He's doing this. He's like, oh. He goes, man, who's Cotton Candy? What did you do? You made this, like, poison for me or what? And Boo goes, I make dinner. Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of my dinner. And so I'm like, yeah, don't make fun of Boo's dinner. Boo, it's absolutely delicious. I love this. Can you cook tomorrow? He said, Boo, cook tomorrow. Boo, cook for you tonight. I go, no, Boo, you're not cooking tonight. Like, no, cook tonight. No, cook tonight. Why? I come get you tonight. I'm like, no. And Madara's like, huh? He's like this. Ugh, I don't feel so great. So I'm like, oh, what's wrong with him? So he gets up and he runs. And I'm like, Madara. I get up and I run behind him because I want. So I'm running behind him because I know he's running to the bathroom because his stomach is upset. He probably has to poop. So I'm gonna definitely come in there with him and basically try to watch him on the toilet. So he runs up because just like Toshinori, I did that to him, right? So I might as well do it to this guy too because you guys are in the same boat now. You're basically my prey. That's how I'm gonna treat you. So he's hightailing it for the bathroom. I'm trying to hold his arm and pull on him. He's like yanking away from me, like, get off, Cotton Candy Da. And I'm like, why he be mean? Boo's like, why he be mean? I said, I don't know. I said, maybe it's time we left. He goes, no, I know leave. I'm not gonna leave Madara. I stay with him and make sure he okay. I said, we should check on him. He go, yeah, check on him. He go, Madara, are you okay? And I'm like, Madara. I'm like banging on the door, like, Madara. He's like, go away. Leave me alone. I'm like, once again, there's no scent coming from the bathroom. It's like that time when Toshinori went. So I'm like, I remember where the screwdriver is. Let me go and unscrew the door hinges. So I started unscrewing it. And Madara goes, what the heck is happening? He's like, Cotton Candy Da, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. I'm just trying to check on you to make sure you're okay. I go, Boo, he's okay. I said, you know what, Boo? He goes, we'll go home. We'll go home now. And he made himself disappear. So it's just me, Madara, right now. So Madara's in the toilet. I hear like splashes and stuff. And I'm like, I can hear this freaking toilet. And I think I'm like, oh, I need to see you because I need to see him on the toilet so that he can feel degraded every time he looks at me. So I heard the toilet flush and I'm like, crap. So I'm standing on top of a chair because I couldn't reach it because the door is like way up here and I was trying to twist the the screw into the thing. So I ran away from the door and he walked out and he's like, his eyes were like shining, like he had the shotgun eyes. He's like coming toward me with them. And I backed away, but then he's like stopped again and he went back to the toilet and like ran in and closed the door and locked it. So then I guess he didn't realize that it was the bottom half of it was halfway off the hinges. He was trying to pull it closed and it wouldn't close and he just left it. So it was like this slanted. And then like, so he's on the toilet, like he's not looking. He's like this. He's holding his he's holding his stomach. He's looking down, and then I made a noise. And then he looked up and he saw me like peeking at him through like the crack part of the door that was like broken off. And he's like, Cotton Candy. He goes, what the? He goes, what the? He's like, what the f, Cotton Candy? Stop it! Stop! That's not cool. And so so the bottom half, since that part was already taken off, I did the other one, and the door just like boom, and he was like, Cotton Candy Da. So I'm like. So I was laughing and I ran out. So then I ran outside and I'm like, just like when what happened to Toshinori. Now I wonder why I didn't smell anything. I guess it's different there. Like I did notice there's different smells for everything there. Every time Toshinori makes coffee, it smells like strawberries. It doesn't taste like strawberries, but it smells like it. Even his pancakes, it almost has a blueberry smell. His breath smells like fruit. Even when it's like fresh fruit, like I'm talking about like pineapples, mangoes, and stuff. And so that's the weirdness of being in that reality. It's definitely different. But he was so pissed. I heard him like, Cotton Candy, I swear. And like, so the door fell. It made a loud crashing noise. But I swear I heard him like smash it. He smashed that freaking door afterwards. So like I ran and I like hid to watch what he was going to do. I watched what he was going to do. He like stormed outside afterwards. He like punched the door and that door went flying off. And I'm like, he is so pissed at me. I said, man, he's going to freaking kill me probably. And the weird thing is the worst part is he can actually come into this reality if he wants to. He could actually come here because he has come here in real time and has visited like my family and have threatened me about them and stuff. So I'm like, I honestly don't care. Like, I feel like now he's definitely going to try and just get me back since I did that to him. It'd be weird to go after someone who didn't do those things to you, right? I mean, it wouldn't be right for you to go after their family. It'd only be right for you to go after them. And they're probably plotting together, him and Toshinori. So I just know I'm in trouble when I go back. But I mean, I had to get them. Like, I had to. And I had to use Boo. And Boo doesn't know he's a part of a plot. He has no idea what's happening. I'm actually glad he's as harmless as he is so that he's not that dangerous. But I think if I was really in trouble and I really needed help, I think Boo would really be there to help me in that situation. I love that Frodo nearly burned down his house because now you get to see like Frodo for his true colors. And I don't know how Frodo would have gotten a hold of anything that would have made him almost burn down his house. I didn't expect that to happen. I expected him to say, "Your kid is too wild," and basically just give him back to me. I wasn't expecting Frodo to halfway like burn down his house. And it was so burnt. It was, I mean, it was bad. It was stained. I could see the stain. It was bad. So like coming into his house, it was like I just all I could do was like I looked up at the ceiling, and then I looked at the walls. It's like, yeah, that was bad. I'm glad he got my baby out, but Frodo can handle himself. He totally can get himself out of there. Now Frodo is still 2 years old. He's not 3 yet because they haven't figured out how to stop. They haven't figured out how to stop the G virus from mutating in his blood. Remember, he's Resident Evil baby, so he's a regenerator. So you guys saw the gray skin, so you know. Originally, that's the regeneration right there. And Frodo can regenerate any part of his body, any part that gets hurt or anything like that. If his finger accidentally gets cut off, guess what? He can regenerate his fingers. If his head gets severed, even he probably could make his head come back on. You know how scary, horrifying those creatures are if you ever played Resident Evil 4. So it's just the fact that he's just so wild and crazy. So when I do keep Frodo, I actually keep him in like a playpen. I give him a bunch of different stuff to toy with because he gets bored really quickly of any of the toys. There is one toy that he plays with the entire time, and it's the one Bakugo got him. Um, the little truck thingy, whatever that thing was. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but he got him the little toy. He still plays with that. He still plays with the little truck thingy. So that's a plus, you know. I don't think he's ever going to get tired of that. That's like, and he's still pint sized, so it's like a pint sized freaking terror. So yeah, whenever I have to go, if I have to go somewhere in public with Frodo, I'm smarter than, obviously women are smarter than men, right? I can't say that for sure, but I mean, Keiko takes him to the supermarket, and instead of putting Frodo inside of the cart or anything, he decides to hold Frodo's hand and walk with the cart with one hand. And when Frodo gets away from him, and later when he finds chaos, or, you know, the store is in the uproar, the manager is in the uproar because everything's been smashed, all the fruit and stuff, or everything's been thrown across the, you know, Frodo just destroys everything he touches, and basically just, his job is to be basically his job is to create chaos and to create a complete mess. He's always a mess. So if I take him anywhere, he's going in a stroller. I strap him up in the stroller because he's going to stay in there. Because you're not getting out, little Joker. He doesn't know how to get out of the stroller either. So, and because unlike a regular stroller where you strap it in the front, Frodo's is strapped in the back, so he can't reach back and do nothing. Now, I was told I'm not allowed to do that because technically it's kind of like a walking fire hazard, or anything happens, he's stuck in the stroller. He can't get out. But Frodo can regenerate, so that should like know anything. And because I said that in front of, there was a social worker at the school when I went there at one time, and she's like, because I said something like that, that would have me like investigate it as child abuse or something. Because if something can, just because your child is able to do this, you shouldn't. Just because your child can grow back an arm doesn't mean you should cut his arm off. I never said I was going to try to harm my child. I just said if there was any real danger, he can regenerate himself. He can save himself. It's an inherited gift from his whoever, his maker, his creator. Basically me, but I can't regenerate my body. That's the regeneration part. It's so weird the way he was born. There is no way for me to explain it to anyone in a way that they'll understand, or in a way that they won't like judge. And I told Kegel to stop telling people how Frodo was made, because they're gonna look at you and think that you're a monster. First off, they are, because that was a monstrous thing to do, what you did to her, even though it was technically me but my clone. What you did to her, yeah, that's not good, bruh, at all. To make her, you basically forced her to give birth to this kid. But he had to keep forcing her several times with this injection. So just, and the whole purpose of this was just to stop the G virus from mutating. So Frodo can't grow up any. They can't allow him. Every like 3 or 4 months, Frodo has to go to see a specialist. That guy, that special doctor, has to give Frodo an injection in his neck. Okay, Frodo hates it. He knows it's coming, but he hates it. And purposely, I don't think Frodo can feel pain. I don't think it hurts him. I think he just doesn't like it. The needle is this freaking big, okay? Tell me if you want something big, the one this big going in your body. Imagine if it had to go in your body. Now imagine if you couldn't feel it. Are you really gonna make that big of a fuss? No, you just want to be an asshole, right? A little asshole. Well, that's what he's doing, being a little asshole. And I told him, don't be a little asshole now. You'll be good in school. But I feel like he does it on purpose to get all the attention he can, and you're getting the wrong type of attention, kid. But anyway, that's enough rambling on about Frodo. You guys saw him, so isn't he adorable? He looks so harmless. He's very harmless. He's very harmful. He really is very harmful. So that's what happened when I went back. I didn't torture Monorail like I could have. I could have literally sat there. I could have. You guys know what I could have. I could have did some things. I could have teased him sexually. I could have frustrated him sexually. I could have done so many things to torment him. I could have, but I didn't. I feel like I went really easy on him. But I want to let him know, like, this is your life with me now, if that's what you really want. Toshinori is already used to it, but Toshinori knows about my dark ploy. He knows what I'm planning. I just don't know how I'm going to approach him. I think, yes, the school isn't a good idea. He won't touch me if I'm in there. If we have a meeting or something, I'll just sit next to him the whole time and, to hold his hand and stuff. And he's like pissed at me. But we're not doing a freaking sandwich thing. I'm sorry. That's not going to become a reality for you, Madara, because Toshinori is probably not interested in that. I doubt he's even interested in you. I think he's just afraid of him. So I think if Madara brought up if Madara brought up a proposition like that, like, hey, let's spend one day where we're both with her like that, I think that Toshinori would try to go along with him because he's afraid, because he knows this guy can own you. He can basically put you in another world somewhere, and he doesn't want that to happen more than anything. He says, I'm the only thing that really matters to him. And I said, is that really true, Toshinori? Nothing in your life matters? Because what if something happens to me? What if I disappear? Toshinori goes, oh, well, then life won't be worth living. I said, okay, so you're just going to cry like a little bitch then. You're not going to stand up on your own 2 feet and do things for yourself. You're not going to live for yourself. What? You're going to live for me? That is the most pathetic thing I have ever heard in my life from him. First off, you're not even in my reality. You're in a different reality. You're in a reality where pain isn't the same. Like, a lot of things that I experience, first off, the pleasure is heightened there, okay? You've experienced heightened pleasure in those type of places. So Toshinori, automatically, you're going to get heightened pleasure. So your libido is, like, off the chain all the time. The food is always delicious, no matter what it is. Even if it's something you don't like, you're going to like it there. There are so many things I can check off the list for there. It's not like here. So you can't say that, oh, I'm just going to live for you or whatever. Please don't do that. Please live for yourself. Like, please live for what you want. There's been times in this life where I've done that, but, I mean, look at this life. Like, a lot of things can go wrong. It's not like that reality where everything is in your favor and it's meant to, most of the time, everything there is going to be in your favor. It's all going to work out for you. If you're shifting the right way and you have your conscience with you, if you're subconsciously able to understand what's going on, then you're able to manipulate the things that happen, and it's all going to be good stuff. None of it will be bad. If you're forced or pulled, things don't go too well. And the reason I say that is because when Boo pulls me, I'm forced to freaking listen to him. Okay, talk about his relationship the whole time. And he knows I'm tired. Like, literally, he's been talking to me, and I've been like this, like, leaned up against him, like, And he's like, are you listening to me? Cotton Candy Dot, you listen to Boo, right? I'm like, yeah, I listen to Boo. He's like, what did I say? You said that. And I'm like, well, shit, I don't know what you said. I was, like, falling asleep. Come on, wake up. And it's like, why are you waking me up to talk? I said, can we talk about this later? Like, can I actually shift and talk to you? He said, no time. So I don't know. I mean, I guess Boo spends so much time with Midnight now, and I don't know what he did to her. She's like crazy about him, and I'm like, it must be the bed. It must be, his drive. I guess he did something right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she looking for him in the daytime with a flashlight. Okay, and that means that's really good. You know what? So, I mean, and then Boo wants to tell me about it, every detail, and I'm just like, really? Do you guys want to hear the details of how things go down with them? They're freaking crazy. There was a tub of goo or something, some kind of jelly. He made it for her. She thought it was weird, but she got in. And he was like, he told her to remove her clothing. He was like rubbing it all over her body and stuff. And then he was like, if I put it inside you, then that means I can eat it out or something. It was, and I'm just like, boo, I don't need to hear this. Like, my ears. I said, my freaking ears. Oh no, my freaking ears. Yeah, no. Yeah, like freaky stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, that's great. Like, I haven't had that kind of attention from Toshinori in so freaking long. And I'm fine with the way things are. We can have a regular relationship when we don't have anything like that. I certainly have matured more and grown more. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to play dirty. Like, I'm definitely going to start doing some things to you that you do to me. And if you're trying to get me back, I'm going to get you back 10 times worse. You're not even going to see it coming because I have Boo now on my side. And Boo would just put you to sleep with his magic gun that you can't even see. It's not magic. It's actually Toshinori's gun. I know by now Toshinori probably realized that it's missing. And here's the funny thing. I was supposed to see him tonight, but I'm not going to see him tonight. Boo's going to pull me. I'm going to end up talking to him about Midnight again. He's going to talk to me. I'm not going to be able to escape his little warp. Even if I've tried to before, and he even called me. He said, "You trying to leave Boo? You try to leave Boo? You don't want to hear Boo talk to you?" I'm like, "No, Boo. I'm not trying to leave you. Of course I like talking to you. I love you. I love you, Boo. I'm tired." Like, you guys just wait until you start shifting. Like, I might do like, will you guys buy it if I make I'm gonna make a tome. God, tome? Yeah, tome. You guys know what a tome is? Should I explain it to you? A tome is it's a stone. It's like a book, but it's made out of stone. The pages turn, and inside you have carved symbols. Okay, and what these symbols are these are powerful symbols that represent something, and when you use them, it allows you to do things. Not only does it allow you to, but it has information about those things. Some would call it like a grimoire or something like that. But if I get you guys that, and this is gonna be too much controversy. I can't do it on YouTube. I was trying to find like a channel where I could secretly like reveal things to you guys, but it's not really easy because most of all of these platforms are not really legit. Like, a lot of them, they want you to do videos, but they have like a requirement for how long they can be. And I want mine to be simple stuff that you guys can learn easy. And it's not going to be too much pressure on you either. But it's not going to be too challenging for you to understand what's happening, because as a beginner, it's really hard sometimes to learn things without seeing it visually. I was like that. And I just think of myself when I'm trying to show other people. And I like to make things as easy as possible. So I think I can get what I might do is get an emulator or something like that, along the lines of, I don't know, but I think I put my Discord in the chat in the previous video or something under Teehee, but I'll probably put it under this one too, because I'm going to upload my video soon. We're already at like 59 minutes, but I'm already trying to think of what I can do when I get, like, I don't have my guide, so it's not like I can come there and just like hang out in the freaking sky with him. And if Toshinori comes after me, I can just, because Toshinori can catch me. Toshinori is pretty quick. He could be like, and get to me in a heartbeat. And I can't do nothing. Like, if that happens, it's over. What I don't want is for him to moderate the team up on me. I don't want that. That would be so bad. Nobody would hear me scream. I'm pretty sure they would put me somewhere, and I would Gosh, I'm gonna suffer so much, aren't I, for this? I don't care. I got back at him. I just say, "Boo, come help me." Boo will come to my aid, and they'll probably stop what they're doing because Boo is there, and Boo does not understand. So they have no choice. In fact, if I tell them it was Boo idea, they'll probably just step off. Like, "Oh, what was he thinking? Like, what is he doing?" And then I could tell him, "Hey, tell them about your love life, Boo." And then he'll talk to them for hours, and they'll be like, "Okay, we understand now what happened." I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't want to throw Boo under the bus though. It was my idea, but I know Toshinori knows his gun's missing by now. Like, and he's probably looking like, "Where the hell is it?" He's probably like, "They did that to me," and he knows I didn't use it on him because he usually. So every time, remember in the past when Toshinori used to do the rabbit hunt with me, where he would dress me up like a rabbit, I'd be just naked, but only wearing like a freaking bra and all that. Like his little outfit he put on me, the little freaking leather or the straps or whatever. Oh, it was a freaking nightmare. And he would tell me to run, and I would try to hide from him, and he would like raise my arm with it. Okay, so those bullets, even though they're like trinks, they leave freaking marks on you. Every time one of them scratches you, if it touches you, the medicine gets inside of your bloodstream, it gets in your skin, and it causes you to become slower. So the more you're shot at, the little bit of, the more he shoots at you, little by little, like he's picking pieces away from like your blood, like your consciousness, like you're starting to like go fall asleep, and you start to slow down too. So eventually he ends up catching you. You lose because it's almost like when you play a drinking game and you're losing. Say you start losing at a game, like say you're playing like Goldfish or Match. Every time you lose, you take a drink, right? But you have to keep playing. So eventually your brain starts to slow down even more. You don't become better. You only get worse because you're becoming more discombobulated, drunk or whatever. So it's kind of like that. Like you start forgetting which way you're supposed to go inside of the maze, everything. You guys remember that? That's my old videos when I used to like tell you guys in detail until I found out, about children watching my channel and stuff. Like I didn't want to do 18 or older because some of the people watching my video were like almost, I guess almost 18, or probably are all adult now. So it's pretty much pointless at this point to say, hey, because all of you are probably grown up. It's been years. I've had my channel for some years now, so I'm sure none of you guys are kids anymore. If you were, but I wasn't really trying to reach out to kids, but I'm pretty sure I probably got like a lot of kids there, and it wasn't really something I thought about. So I'm more cautious now. I don't reveal every single thing, but if you guys go back, you can see like I did tell everything. I used to tell everything. Now I'm a little more conserved. But yeah, they suffered. You know what I would do if I could go back now? I would literally imprison them. I would put them inside of like a holding cell, and I would just put a toilet in there and like a sink, and just stare at them the whole time. Like, am I cruel? It probably would never work. I'm sure they would just bust out and probably put me in there. But I know they're thinking of something way more diabolical, just for the simple fact that Toshinori was trying to get me to come outside that day, and I just left. Keiko was just like, Keiko knew something was up, but he just sat there. He didn't say, "Oh, Keiko, help me catch her," or nothing. Keiko was just looking like. But of course, the baby was with him anyway, so he couldn't have done nothing. I'm just thinking, guys. When I go back, it's gonna be a real shit show, isn't it? It's gonna be a shit show, but I mean, I'm glad Boo was there to help me. I really am. If he hadn't been there, I don't know. I don't know what I would have done. But I guess I'm gonna end my video here. I enjoyed talking to you guys. It was a lot of fun explaining to you guys what happened, and I guess someone tried to like text me. It's probably, I'm just gonna look at it, whatever. But so anyway, message me in the comments. Tell me what you think, what my next plan should be. Message me on Discord. Let's talk a little bit about what you want to do. I know a lot of you guys don't really go anywhere at night sometimes. I know some of you guys are trying. I'll figure out something though. I was gonna do school, but school is like $100 a month or something like that. And I'm trying to get an office. I'm trying to get an office space now, and I can't. I'm not gonna be able to pay like all that out. I just can't. It's too much when I add the office space and the extra things I'm getting. Plus I just started doing piano lessons again, so that I can learn how to play the Nutcracker Suite, dance up the reed flutes. So I'm doing a lot. And these are really just honestly, that's just for myself so that I can have something I enjoy. I'm not a therapist or anything like that, but if you're able to I really want to do fish keeping. I can't do it right now in my apartment because my landlord does not want me to. They're worried about water damage. So technically, it's like no pets or anything like that. But when I do move, or if I get an office space, I am able to keep aquarium in there. Um, as a relaxing thing, a part of my business. But for me, the piano thing is really what I love. I love, love, love piano. I even have all of my debit and credit cards are all like pianos. I never tried to make a piano, make like a. I could do a piano pillow if I want. I could sew one together if I try or something. I do a lot of crafting stuff on the side. Like you guys see my work, so you guys know what I'm doing. Like this little teddy bear. I think you guys saw him last time, right? I have other ones too. This is not my only one. But I try to do crafting. I try to do all type of things to keep myself busy. And then I met someone who loves anime as much as me. She's ridiculous. She had a whole list full of stuff that she's already watched. She put check marks next to it. She's telling me about it. Her favorite yaoris, yuris, all that. I don't remember any of them. She was just telling me when you find something you really, really like or find something you really want to do, it'll really change your life. I had to definitely add video games into my work now because work is stressful. And then I come home and I get pulled by Boo. I'm just trying to figure this out. I don't know. So yeah, we'll talk more. You'll talk to me on Discord about the other stuff, okay? And we'll figure out something from there. I'm trying to find a free platform, a free platform for you guys, okay? I really am. If I can find one, that would be great. One that doesn't cost any money. That way you guys can enroll for free. Can get my advice for free because I won't do anything else on YouTube related to shifting or anything like that. I'm just not gonna do it. I mean, I have old videos on it and stuff. You guys can watch those. Just hit me up on Discord if you can. And just watch out for a key. I'm going to put together a website or something with info on it and stuff so you guys can see it. Tell me what my next plan is. What am I doing to Toshinori next? What am I doing to Madara next? How can I use Boo to do it without Boo questioning? Because Boo will pick up. Boo is not an idiot, first off. I know at times he can do dumb things. Reveal that he's going to, say later on, I cook for you or something. Almost revealing. He almost told Madara that he meets me at night. That's why I was just no, Boo, cook you at night? And he's like, what? I'm so glad he was discombobulating. He didn't understand what Boo was saying. Because that would be the end too. Because I know he would find a way to interfere with that too. And I don't want to miss my time with Boo either. Even though sometimes he doesn't talk fast enough for me for it to be over. It's still going on. So yeah, I'm just trying to I'm trying to figure that one out. I don't know. But I'm gonna end the video here. It's been long enough. It's been a whole hour, you guys. So yeah, this was a really cringy video. This was a really disturbing video too, because it kind of put me back into my old cotton candy doll self. As opposed to my new, more reserved self. If you guys need to relax, just put on a video of if you guys want to relax or you have trouble sleeping, put on a video of fish swimming at night in an aquarium. It's so relaxing. Or do colors or something like that. I have 3 bubble machines. 3. I shouldn't have 3, but I have 3. So yeah. I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys hated it, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs down if you liked it, thumbs up, I guess. Toshinori, you want to say bye? Look, I went for him and he like leaned back like, no, I don't want to say bye. Are you embarrassed because of what I did? This is a See, this is like a small version of the big Toshinori. This is almost like a not a what is it called? Like an image of him, but also like this is like kind of like a part of him in this world. I wonder if he can tell anything or if he feels anything from that. You never know. Look at this, those deep dark void eyes. Look into those eyes. Look at them. Look into. Oh, I'm just joking. All right, guys, I'm gonna end my video here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.